Miss Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Miss Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Miss Universe podcast.
Hello and welcome to Emma's podcast. Yes, I'm having a blast. Actually, I've been quiet for the past 2 weeks. A lot of things going on around here, so didn't have the time or the inspiration, actually, but the time to record my podcast. I know that's not an excuse, but I'm going to use it as an excuse and stick it with it. So, on our last podcast, we talked about stopping to complain and get things done. Because if you think about where you want to be, things are not working the way you want them to work. And you're asking the question, well, nothing is working. I'm putting myself as a victim because everybody hates me, the universe hates me, blah, blah, blah. Well, cry me some rivers. We all go through challenges in our lives. We all have to have our life lessons. We did not come here to, oh, well, some do actually, to have a nice ride, but most of us will have to do our few life lessons we have to learn. But also, when we're talking about being successful in our lives, and I'm using the word successful very loosely. It's not based on what the concept of success is how do you feel about what you're doing with your life? Do you feel you're successful? It's not comparing you with somebody else's. If I have to go back to what I taught, which is when you want to make yourself, what makes you unique? And when I know I'm jumping like from topic to topic, but it will all wrap around at the end. Listen to it. It's all good. When we attribute our success, it's not based on other. It's not based on the criteria of, oh, Paul did this and I'm more successful than him, blah, blah, blah. Our success comes from our own challenges, our own goals. What are your goals? If it's just to copy what everybody else's do and say, well, you know what, you're becoming part of the robot world, like I call it. But when you start to be your own thoughts, mind, goals, and stop to compare yourself. Because the biggest issue that I see now, and again, I'm going to go, oh, Emma, you're going after the Gen Z, the millennia. Well, stop comparing yourself. Stop to look at what they're doing. I never done that. Maybe was... lucky enough on this one, or wise enough, should I say, not even lucky, wise enough to realize, why do I care if Paul, John, or whatever is doing, is a lawyer, or is successful, or is a billionaire? I don't care. This is not my life. My life is mine. And when I say stop complaining and do it, that's mean stop to sitting on your laurel and expecting that, oh, everything is not working properly, so I'm going to give up. Okay, well, that's up to you to give up or to get going. But your journey of growth will come along when it's needed, and when you need something that is really amazing in order for this to happen is to have the growth. That growth is necessary. Now, it's kind of a pain on the butt, actually, when you look back at what you have accomplished and how much struggle you went through. But that struggle was like the diamond being compacted, being pushed inside of the earth. And because of so much pressure, it became a diamond. This is the same thing with us. If this was given to us on a silver platter, we would not have the same respect or the same view or the same appreciation of looking back and say, holy crap, I have done all of this. I am very proud of myself to have stand up on my 2 feet and being able to push against the odd, push against the challenges, think outside of the box when I'm doing things instead of being frustrated. Just look at the, I would say, solution that came up. Take a time to sit down and do that, or put it in your mind and just say, well, we'll see what's coming out of it in a minute. But just staying focused and really be appreciative of what we've got. Getting going is not, again, comparing ourselves to whom. You don't compare apple to oranges, and this is what most people do. I say, oh my God, this is the standard. Oh my God, this is this and that. No. There is no standard here. Your standard is what you want to accomplish. Your standard is what makes you tick and talk. Your standard is, what do I want to do for my own self, not for anybody else's, not to try to be better than anybody else's, but for me. I'm not going to do it for my children. I'm not going to do it for my mate. I'm not going to do it for mommy or daddy or bro or sis or cousin or uncle. I'm doing it for myself. I was watching, I'm having a blast actually on TikTok. There is quite a lot of people that are hilarious. But there was one thing I was watching, very interesting, that was Said Yes to the Dress. When you see those girls going and, young ladies, I shouldn't say girl, but young ladies going and wanted to pick and choose their dress. Now you get the influence of the mother, you have the father, you have the sister, you have the best friend. Everyone wants to put their, 5 cents into those dresses. Now, at the end of the day, and I forgot his name, I think it's Randy, said something, his name is Randy, very interesting. You will know if it's your dress. You will know if that fits you, because that day is your day. Now, you don't want to wear something you don't like. You wear something that is you. You want something memorable, not miserable, starting with an M, both. Now, let's project this and move it to our lives. And complaining doesn't get you going. However, doing an inventory where you are and deciding, well, I don't like where I'm at right now. So what can I do to change this? What can I do if I don't like the work I'm in, or situation arise that are not what I want to do or where I want to be? What can I do to make those changes? So instead of sitting and whining, I'm going to acknowledge where I'm at. I'm going to see the situation for what it is. I'm going to call it, name it. Then I'm going to claim the change I'm going to make. It doesn't have to have power with everybody and discussing over it. It's your decision. If you don't like where you are, you make the decision. It's like people who make the decision, and very interestingly, again, I'm going to reference of TikTok again. I know. What can I say? It's very interesting to watch people asking questions, and you get people giving feedback. And sometimes you're like, okay, but if the red flags are here, why would you ignore them and ask that question? If somebody you go out with is setting red flags to the point they put their hands on you, and you're asking people, should I go in, because he's a pilot, should I go and continue to see him? Okay. Well, honey, you're monkey, you're circus, but the red flags are here. So, same thing when we're transferring those red flags, it's where you are. So, let's say you're in a position at work where things are starting to turn sour because some people are feeling threatened by you. Not because you're going to threaten them for their life, but they're threatened because you are smarter than they are, or they feel their insecurity. Doesn't mean you are smarter than they are at some level, but they are feeling the lack of. And seeing you thriving, doing your job, being confident of what you do, being a self-starter, really threaten them. Then they start to make your life a living hell. Should you be complaining about it, or is your manager care about it? Maybe your manager doesn't care and said, who cares? Then it is up to you to decide, should I stay or should I go? Up to you. Now, if you stay, you know you're going to be faced with challenges because the universe is telling you, no, time to move on. You have done whatever you have done there. Now you need to move to the next level. Those are good questions to ask about our goals. Those are good questions to ask ourselves. And I think this is the most challenging one, actually, when we are looking at what do we want to do with our lives. Because a lot of people don't know or are afraid of the unknown. There is a false sense of security that happens, and people are more inclined to live in that illusion of everything is safe if I don't move, when in fact, if you listen and watch what's going on around you, you will realize that time to go. So we have choices in our lives. Again, we can complain about it, or we can do something about it. I have observed many times people clinging to their dear life for a job they have ground. At the end of the day, if they didn't move position, then they would be let go in some of the cases. And it is life-changing for some people. It is traumatizing, on the other hand, realizing that you're in a permanent position that is not permanent. Permanent is just a word. Les aléas de la vie guide us where we need to be. So look at your life, look at where you are, and really what do you want to impact? Do you want to impact your life and change your goals? And start to just decide, okay, I'm not liking where I'm at. What do I like? What do I want to do? Maybe I'm going to do a 360 and change completely job. I'm maybe going to be my own boss, which is not that bad actually, and live in a way that I'm going to need to adapt. I'm going to change the life I have to something that's going to bring me the joy, the happiness, the success that I'm wanting. Now, again, don't base your success on others, based on where you are and what you have accomplished and what's going on. Again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You know, people can be extremely successful overnight, and as high and fast they went, as low and fast they go. Study wins the race. It's a marathon. So, learning to be where we need to be, making the right decision or not, we're human. We have to do the college of the University of Life or the College of Life, either way. But you have to decide, what is my goal? What do I want to do? How can I move up to the next level? What can I change to improve where I'm at? Am I that super excited to go every day where work is, or is it just a paycheck? If you want to keep your job, you don't have to quit, but you could at least start something on the side that will inspire you. Being inspired is being able to open ourselves up to the next level. Being inspired is able to move our lives to the next level. Being inspired is really being bold and really push the limit. Some people have everything served on a silver platter for them. And some, like the lotus, will have to rise from the mud to become that beautiful flowers. That's all right. You don't have to look at Paul, John, Margaret, Barbie, or whomever you want to look for. Who cares? This is their path. Your journey is unique. Think about what makes you unique. What do you have as a skill set? What do you want to do? What do you want to learn? Be bold in your life. There is nothing wrong with that. And a lot of people are afraid to do it. We are human beings. We are changing and evolving every single day. One of the things I'm going to probably talk about next podcast is mindfulness and groupies and the ridiculousness of individuals who feel like they have to be stalking people and they don't have their identity. Their insecurity can basically try to walk in your parade. So how to avoid that will be another good question. But think about what you want to accomplish. What are your wildest dreams? And make them happen. There is nothing wrong to do that. What is wrong is not taking the chance to do it. What is wrong is ignoring what you can do to improve your own self. What is wrong is letting your life pass by you because you're afraid to make a move. We are living and breathing. Every day is your day, is our day. Make it something out of it. It doesn't matter what it is. Learn something new. Look at setting up some of the goals. And as I said, the wildest one, the better one, the boldest one, the bigger one, the better it is. Get out of your shell or your cocoon. And don't wait for somebody to give you that recognition, that affirmation, because you give your powers away. Just be your own self. Stop complaining and get going, because nobody else will do it for you. Don't live through other people. Live for yourself. And decide really what you want, not based on others to try to copy them just because. Be inspired by others. Be inspired by their boldness. Be inspired that if they can do it, you can do it. We all can do it. It's just learning to break that glass ceiling and make it happen. That little cocoon where we think we feel comfortable when in fact we are not. Expand your wings and fly away. One of the best things I ever did is fly away. One of the better things I ever did is let the universe bring everything I need. And be open to it. Be open to the changes, be open to the madness, be open to the love, be open to everything you can do for your own self. That's what I would say. So, this was our podcast for today. On the next podcast, as I said, I'm going to talk about mindfulness and the false prophets and the pretenders, because that will be very interesting. And I will tell you a story about that, actually. All my love, guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye now.
Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast.